On August 8, 2013, scores of angry activists in the Philippines broke down the fence surrounding a field and mercilessly uprooted and destroyed the plants growing there. The destroyed plants were a trial run of golden rice, a new genetically modified crop created to boost levels of beta-carotene, a source of vitamin A. Every year, vitamin A deficiency kills up to 2 million people and causes blindness in 500,000 children worldwide. Golden rice was created in an attempt to stop this. Why then would so many people be angry about it? Since genetically modified foods first burst onto the scene in 1994, media headlines and popular opinion have constantly warned of the potential cataclysmic effects of these crops and hazardous health risks that may come with them. In fact, recent polling efforts in the United States show that only 20% of Americans think that genetically modified foods are safe to eat. What if we were to strip away the paranoia of hyped-up news reports and examine the science behind GMOs? While there are definitely some concerns to be had about GM crops, not all the claims you hear are necessarily true. The World Health Organization defines GMOs as organisms in which the genetic material has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally. Though initially developed as a form of crop protection, GM crops can also translate into a lower priced product, one with higher yield, or like golden rice, one with greater nutritional value. The concern over GM crops is that they may potentially pose a risk to human health. However, recent studies have shown that these claims are almost entirely unfounded. GM crops are tightly regulated by many world governments. They must undergo a rigorous risk assessment process as well as extensive safety testing prior to being sold to the public. Some critics are also concerned about more nuanced effects, such as the transfer of antibiotic resistance from GM bacteria to the bacteria within the human body. Yet multiple studies have found that the probability of this occurring is extremely low. The hazardous effects, therefore, are null. Others claim that GM crops would be harmful to the environment, which is a warranted concern. For example, studies find that the use of herbicide-resistant GM crops has actually increased the use of harmful herbicides on plants. These herbicides can cause severe damage to the surrounding environment with adverse effects on local food webs. However, Bt crops crossed with the Bt toxin in order to become naturally resistant to insects rather than having to be sprayed with pesticides, have been shown to drastically reduce pesticide use without negatively affecting surrounding food webs. Overall, the USDA has found that insecticide use in the United States was 8% lower for adopters of Bt corn than for non-adopters. Numerous studies have also shown that Bt crops have no adverse effects on other organisms in the ecosystem, such as pollinators. While it's important to take precautionary measures, it is also important to note that transgenic crops are nothing new to our ecosystem. For millennia, humans have bred plants for desirable traits through selective breeding. In developing countries around the world, over 840 million people are chronically undernourished. In addition, the world's population is predicted to grow to approximately 9 billion in the next 40 years, the majority of which concentrated in developing countries. The benefit of GM plant technologies may be one of the few ways we have to increase crop yield and make agriculture more efficient in order to feed our growing population. The debate over GMOs is very much a global one. It concerns our youth and our elderly, developing and developed countries, and consumers and producers. And while people may continue to express their concerns over these crops, they may be around to stay. In the case of golden rice, while activists may say it's poison, the project is predicted to be a phenomenal success. 1 8-ounce cup of cooked golden rice is equivalent to 50 to 60% of the adult recommended dietary allowance of vitamin A. GM crops, much like the case of golden rice, could work to create sustainable food sources in an increasingly populated world. Should we give in to the hype of mass media scares, or let our decisions be based on the results of science? The answer to this question may decide the course of our planet's future.